Hey guys, what is going on? Martino back again, giving you some more thoughts on She-Hulk. I'm so excited to talk about this episode. There was a lot that I loved, but also a lot that I took issue with that I would like to get off my chest. So you really start this episode meeting Donnie Blaze, and I'm not quite familiar with Donnie Blaze. Let me know if you know if he's in the comics, honestly, because I'm not familiar with him, but he's kind of this ex-Comertage magic learner student who got kicked out, and he's kind of bad at his job. So this is actually where my first issue started, is with him. He started out by having trouble with the sling ring, as we saw when he was doing the trick, and he sent the girl over to Wong's. We'll get to that in a minute, but the fact that he had trouble to begin with, and then later on was able to use the sling ring like nothing when he got to Wong's later in the episode, that was one thing I definitely took some issue with. I did love the relationship between the gal and Wong, though. That was funny. I'm so glad Wong was back in this episode. As I said in my last video, that I really loved Wong, and I love Wong in the show. I know that sounds hysterical every time I say it, but I love that Wong is watching Sopranos. These are the questions that you kind of ask yourself, or at least I did. Like, do superheroes have time to sit down and binge watch things? And this is the show where we're going to get answers to those types of questions, right? And it's very self-aware of that, and I really had a good time watching it for that regard. And as a longtime Sopranos fan, Donnie Blaze should pay, because I know what it's like when you see Adriana die in that show, and it's so funny that that got spoiled for Wong. Actually, it's terrible, but funny at the same time that he was that upset about it, and I understand it as a Sopranos fan. Honestly, that's a big moment. Donnie Blaze should pay. Screw that guy. I didn't really buy Jennifer Walters' whole dating website thing. I just don't buy that Tatiana Maslany. I don't care if she's in her 30s or not, which was this show's explanation. She's not going to really have trouble finding a date. I'm sorry. And I took a lot of issue with her CGI toward the beginning of this episode, to be honest with you. I thought it looked bad, and then later on when Donnie Blaze lets out the demons and we get the demon fight, that's badass. I loved when Wong just intruded in her home, though, and he was like, why aren't you answering your telephone? And he looks at her date and he's like, oh, I see. Hysterical. That I got a huge kick out of. And the post-credit scene was hysterical too, when Wong and the girl were talking about their favorite alcohols. That was super funny, and it was just like a casual, realistic conversation that you would have with somebody like this girl who's a huge party animal. And you've had conversations when you're meeting new people, definitely, at least I have, about alcohols that we like, and it's a real cool way to bond. And it's funny that they became friends, and my favorite thing in the world is Wongers. That's such a funny nickname, and it was so fitting but hysterical at the same time. So really thought that was a laugh riot. So Titania is taking issues with She-Hulk, suing her for the trademark of the name She-Hulk too. And I almost gotta wonder a little bit, was this a storyline in the comics? Was Titania named She-Hulk in the comics too at one point in time, to where she can actually sue her? You guys got to let me know in the comment section below. I have not read a single She-Hulk comic, so I don't really know anything about what happens there. And obviously when they do things in the comics, it doesn't have to be verbatim in the TV show or the movie adaptation, depending on what they're doing. It just, they typically cherry pick, and they can also make up new storylines. You look at Miss Marvel and how they made up the fact that she was a mutant, even though that was taken from an idea here that the original comic book writers had for Miss Marvel in the first place, and they were just able to bring it to fruition in the TV show. I did not like the guy that Jen brought home either, honestly. Like, I had a bad feeling about him from the beginning. I knew he was going to be a douchebag, and man, did I call it. I did like the dating stuff, don't get me wrong. Like, it was fine, it played okay. I just don't buy that she can't find a date. She's a successful lawyer, famous superhero. It would be weird that she couldn't find a date, and it's just weird that a woman of her caliber can't find a date. Again, I don't care that she's in her 30s. She's beautiful as well, so there's that. Yeah, this Donnie Blaze stuff is really interesting. I definitely want to learn more about him, but yeah, it was a okay episode. Like, again, it was hit or miss. I was entertained. I did get a lot of laughs out of it, so that's kind of why I watched the show, honestly, is just to get laughs out of it. So I'm not upset at all, honestly. It wasn't a total loss. There were just some major issues, if you ask me. But I did like it, and yeah, had fun. All right, guys, I'm going to take off here, but please make sure you do follow The social media is down there. And then also, again, I've been Don Martino, and I do hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whenever you're watching this, honestly. And before I get going here, please, if you would, hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications. Thank you guys again for joining. I am Don Martino, and I will talk to you guys later.